Hey everybody, so I'm back for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 8, episode 5, Waiting the Ex-Wife. If you're watching this, first of all, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it as I try to grow it. And I've told people before, I'm not somebody who's going to pay for subscribers. This is just fun for me, but I would appreciate the support. Okay. So yes, I'm still in the midst of grading research papers. I'm almost done, and this was my mental break. So y'all got this. Don't go in too hard if you don't like this review. Oh well. All right. So we get Destiny and Moses. So Destiny is going in still. Destiny is like, I can still pull the stuff up in her text messages or whatever. I said okay. So Destiny is like, well, look, I had to pay my bills. I couldn't be worried about you and going back and forth, this, that, and the other. So Moses basically admits that she came to see him every other week. And then he admitted that she did. But, I mean, I paid for the tickets. So you wasn't putting in enough effort. Okay, bro. So then you lied about her not coming to be a part. And you were accepting of it up until a certain point when she broke it off with you. So apparently that didn't count because you paid for it. You's a weak motherfucker. Anyway, after you, so he said, well, look, I named my business. She was like, after our child. He was like, we didn't have no child together. She was like, my son's name is Law. The child we were going to have together was going to be named Justice, and you named your business after it. I said, and you know, Moses' dumb, slow ass didn't know what to say. And she got you, Moses. She got you. Moses, you doing that dumb ninja shit, that mumbling and saying a bunch of stupid stereotypical digs. You were emotionally and mentally prepared for a baby, this and the other. Motherfucker, you not emotionally and mentally prepared for 9th grade if we gonna keep it all the way fucking real. Okay? Okay. Catch. All right? And I believe Destiny broke it off with him. Yes, I do. And he's mad that she didn't want to have his baby. And then with Sonny, who pulled that Jedi mind trick on him to get back at her. Because Sonny just strikes me as the kind who hasn't been able to find a man. And Moses is nice and dumb and mumbles and was so angry with Destiny. And Sonny knew it because she was her producer and just felt like this was somebody she could move in on. Because honestly, when we look at them together, they do not have chemistry. And she looks like his mother to me. And that's just what it is. Destiny, I will say in the midst of that conversation, you did look like you wanted to cry. And I said that before. And I think Destiny works hard not to be vulnerable. And I can understand that. I really do. Because I'm that kind of person. But I also am not on reality TV, ma'am. I think Destiny, I understand you holding it in, certainly in front of this man. But girl, sometimes you just got to let it out. Because you still ain't told us everything about LeBaric. And you done gone to jail for forging his signature. Okay, so Destiny said he settled for somebody in his weight class, fine and broken. I said, God damn, fuck the mic. I said, bomb drop. But you had me fucked up at fine, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. What? Say what? Moses ain't even hot. Mumbling Moses, and we don't need another goddamn M name on this show, but we got one. Mumbling Moses is nobody. Like, if I saw him on the street, he's the kind of motherfucker that if he tried to say something to me on the train, I get real deaf and just act like I'm really reading real deep in my Kindle. Like he is not somebody that would catch my attention. But anyway, after this sit down with Mumbling Moses and Destiny dismissed him and he got his grown ass up and really left. What was him? You dismissed, but then he walked out. So Destiny won. Destiny, there doesn't need to be another sit down between her and Moses. It is what it is. He done married this bitch. And you don't need to have another sit down unless it's with Sonny for being a fake ass friend, because it is clear. All right. And I'm not even somebody who goes up for Destiny, but right is right, wrong is wrong, messy is messy. So, you know, anyway, so Moses walked, run out of the Mexican restaurant. And that thing was really named Mexican restaurant. Huntsville is so country. So we get Trisha and Tisha. Basically the story about how they met Martell. Trisha is not divorced. They haven't even filed, which is interesting. No judgment though, because we still getting to know Trisha. He may not want, and Trisha and Tisha, this is what I'm talking about. Like, is everybody so fucking country that they name their kids all the fucking same things and then they cast people? Can't y'all come up with y'all's middle name or something for TV? Damn. Anyway, he may not want to divorce her, Tisha, but there are men that also refuse to divorce women. as a source of control. And yes, when Stormy called him Mr., it did trigger my brain to think he may have possibly been abusive. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, I didn't care about this conversation, so we moving on. So Mel invites her friends over for a sleepover. She explains that at her age, a lot of her friends are married. Same here, right? But at least Mel has children, so that's something that typically a lot of women, especially down south, and I don't mean to generalize, but I know enough, that's what I'm basing this on, that already have children and stuff like that. Children are usually the big shift in somebody's life, at least in my experience. They don't have the freedom they once had, because, I mean, you have to do what you have to do for your child. So, I mean, I think on that basis, you can always kind of keep a level of consistency, because women will have kids understand. It's just something about it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that women do have it. So one of her friends is Shanita Foster. Do y'all remember Football Wives on VH1? It only lasted one season, but they was real mean to Pilar Sanders, and whether people like her or not, they was mean to her. They ganged up on her. And then Shanita Foster also popped up on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it seems she is still chasing her reality TV spotlight. And she done had to try to pop off on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Girl, we know you don't live in Huntsville. Girl, we know you ain't got that much going on. And girl, you have had a lot of work done to your face. And I'm still like, anyway. So her friends are always trying to hook her up. And she says that they realize she's a good catch. And Mel is. Mel is beautiful. She is smart. She is young. She is exceptional at business. You can tell she's a great mother. She's been through a rough marriage, but she has learned a lot. You can tell. You can tell. You can tell. Now, people who don't like Mel, that's y'all's business. Because I don't really have necessarily a favorite on the show except for Chris Fletcher. And y'all know why. I like to have my little old man crush. But anyway, what was I saying? See, a fine man can make you forget a lot of things. What was I saying? So, Mel... Oh, yeah, her friends are always trying to hook her up. And she is. But Shanita was like, every time I go through something, I try to find purpose. So I go to Africa. And I remember her talking about Swaziland or something on NFL Wise. Don't ask me how I remember that, because I was in graduate school and stressed and was just looking for a way to, like, take that PhD energy and put it somewhere else, because it was driving me crazy. Them white people was driving me crazy at UCLA. But anyway. And so she was like, I think going to Africa, going to the motherland and doing charity work is going to be helpful. And I was like, that's a long motherfucking way to act like you want to help somebody. Just say, your homegirl, we need to get away and we may find something in the motherland. Don't be trying to hook me up with no African man. Okay? Don't, because you're going to end up like Portia Gabadia. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say. People may be offended by this, but this has happened to me too many times in real life, in real time. Particularly, especially with, should I say, West Africans. The Nigerians, the Ghanaians, the Senegalese, they come over here to the U.S. and they think they're better than African Americans. They don't respect us. So whatever colonized lies the British and then Americans tell them when processing them and letting them over here, and I've seen that even with behavior in children, toward me as their African American teacher, things that they wouldn't even try with their white teachers, is really offensive. So the whole idea that you can just find a man over there and y'all will somehow just be okay was getting on my fucking nerves. Because Shanita, if she's not in a good place, it is not going to be helpful. Like, she is trying to hook her up with men and then says something to the effect of, no, she did say, Mel is too picky. I'm picky too. And I can be as picky as I motherfucking want to be. I take care of myself. By the grace of God, God has always provided for me. I know what it is to have and not to have things, but always be supplied for. My needs have always been met. Okay, by the grace of God, I ain't never had to sleep with nobody for it, and I ain't gonna do it. Okay, that's what I mean. And I refuse to settle for things or let people pressure me into relationships. Good relationships take time, and that's okay. And men who are not mature enough or wanting that, I'm not gonna force that on them, because you know what I've learned? That my happiness and my peace, and I'm not even just regurgitating these words, I've learned that I know what it is to be hurt. I know what it is to be in love. I know what it is to be heartbroken. I know what it is to be betrayed by friends, by boyfriends. I know what that is. So I know what I want. And Mel has 4 kids to consider. And I am a firm believer that you don't ever just have any man around your kids. You don't. And so this whole idea of pressure, Shanita strikes me as somebody, seems like the kind, she would go to a church like New Birth and say that women need to lower their expectations, like that mega church bullshit, to be married because it's God's will for you to be ball and chain to a man, whether you happy or not. And we all know New Birth is masquerading, is a business masquerading and marketing itself as a church. Yeah, I said it, and I don't give a fuck. Okay? Yeah, because I don't respect them as a real church. Okay? And it ain't just Margarita, it's me. Anyway. All right. So Shanita asked if she's worried about, you know, what Martell essentially is going to do or how he's going to show up out of nowhere while she's on a date because he's done it before. And that is real. And she was like, but don't let that, you know, that fear control your life. No, but the way you're talking is that generalized Instagram, TikTok, mean bullshit. Like if you just follow this advice, your life would be better. The bottom line is healing takes time. Just like my mother told me one time when I was going through something with a breakup, and my mother said, anybody that tells you to hurry up and get over it, move on, she said they ain't never been through nothing. They don't understand that. And it's okay to take time to take care of yourself. And I appreciated that so much. Because it takes a lot for me, because I don't like to always take my problems to my mother because I don't want to stress her out. And that was some years ago, but I'm just making a point. Anyway, so Mel is right. Her friends do need to pick a side. People like Nell who's still talking to Martell and shit. And somebody, I think, put it in my comments. I don't know if I responded because I didn't know how to respond. And they were like, no, the question is, why does Nell feel the need to still meet with Martell? And I'm just going to let you know, whoever said that, message received. I just didn't know how to respond to it in words. And I didn't want to offend nobody by just, you know, trying to like figure it out through words. But I heard you. Okay, so anyway, so riding this fence shit, I'm not one of those people. It's like when two of your friends fall out and you may not want to be in the middle of it, and I totally understand that. But chances are somebody has shown you exactly what the other person is mad about. Okay? Friendships, true ones, are not businesses. It's not like, oh yeah, we get together for business. Oh, I can completely ignore this or completely ignore that. No. People who ride the fence are not trustworthy. I can't stand nobody who says I get along with everybody, or who is lukewarm. Because the bottom line is, in order to get along with everybody, usually means you're an information gatherer, and you're an information teller, and you're sneaky. I don't trust nobody that can't take a side. I do understand, like, you know, when your siblings fight or whatever, staying out of it, but that's different. That's family. That's blood. And that's close blood. I ain't say cousins and shit. I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Anyway, so Stormy and Trisha meet up at her house. Everything Stormy does is so obviously a production telling her she should film with so-and-so because all y'all have contractual obligations to meet. They're not even giving her Trisha as a friend for this show. Stormy is not here to carry a show. Stormy is funny looking. She is country and unattractive, and I hate the fact that she is on my camera. I don't give a fuck, okay? So Martell walked in and acted like he didn't know Trisha. What the fuck I care? All right, Martell, she apparently knew his brother. She went to school with his brother Montez. Because when we run out of things, we just come up with another M-name character to finish, to put in the story. So Martell starts laughing like a Girl Scout when he doesn't want to talk about a time frame in terms of them having met. And he told her that basically, she was like, well, I knew your brother or whatever. And he was like, well, my brother's doing good. Well, not really, because he's incarcerated again. And it's tough having a family member that's in and out of jail or in jail. Whether I like Martell or not, they ain't got shit to do with it. It's tough. So I'm not going to even go in on that. And he was like, I was almost in there with him wholeheartedly. And then I was like, Martell, what the fuck does that mean? You're not good with vocabulary words. If you want to say you was almost in there because I violated Mel after multiple times of her letting shit go and not knowing any boundaries, then see, that's something. But that's not something that should be said because you keep getting into trouble, fool. Martell is sus. I'm going to tell you, I don't make no secret about that. I think he likes to mess around with multiple women, and he also likes to tell people he's messing around with multiple women, thinking he'll convince us that he doesn't go both ways. Okay, girl, because sometimes those are the biggest ones. It's brave for somebody to admit that they're gay. It's not, I mean, it's become easier as people like who are heterosexual see it as, okay, yeah, people are opening up. But people who live in that body and who don't try to get safer around bisexuality because they're afraid of what will happen if they say that they're gay, still live in that world. And Martell is just one of the messy, down low, at least that's what I think. I don't have any proof, but I know my intuition. Moving on. And it was weird, but it was fake weird. Because ain't no way in hell, if you and Trisha are friends, Stormy, this is not the first time you heard about Trisha and Martell. She is so desperate to be a reality star. Stormy and Shanita Foster while we at it. We see you, unfortunately, Stormy. We see you and your weird looking ass on our TV screen or our computer screens, and we not here for it. She asked Martell to be a shirtless model. He said he was disappointed because of his body and he needed to get back in shape and get back in the gym. My thing is, that's how I know Martell is especially stupid. Not because he wasn't ashamed because he's a businessman and somebody is asking him to be a shirtless fucking model. Should actually be offensive. But you so hard up for cash? Okay then, brother. Moving on. Moses and Sonny. All right. So Moses goes to check in with his mother, I guess, technically by way of law, wife, Sonny. So Sonny's first question to her son or husband, however you want to see it, is how was Destiny dressed? I said, you want to hear from an insecure woman? Let that be the first question you ask. You worried about that because Destiny had him first and he still met up with her on the show. That's why you worried about it. This is not a trustworthy individual. And if you could fuck him while dating her, you know he'll cheat on you with your old looking big forehead, moon face having ass. And I don't care because the bitch is messy. All right. He said she had on makeup and a dress and heels. I mean, but I didn't notice much because I'm a man. The fuck you didn't. You knew all of that. Anyway, so he told her the kindergarten version. You know what he sounded like? He sounded like my fourth graders when they tell me about their unsolicited stories from over the weekend, what they did with the big sort of like pauses, but like deep breaths as they think about the story. But the difference is they're my students. The difference is they're in fourth grade. The difference is they're talking to their teacher who is 20 years their superior, okay? 20 years, not superior. Yeah, superior. That's what you call it. It's like a junior and or senior. And Moses, you're supposed to be grown. So Sonny says, like, we weren't friends. And she can't tell anybody 5 things about me. Okay? And she admitted that because of the information that a cast member tells her as a producer, maybe it felt like a friendship to her. And I said, Sonny, see, just the fact that you said that tells me you know you are wrong. And you call yourself trying to cover all the bases for TV. Her saying that she doesn't know, oh, she don't even know where I live. Well, you and Moses both moved to Huntsville. He was like in Texas somewhere. And as Carlos pointed out, his producers come from out of town to come to Huntsville. So, bitch, don't pull it. Don't pull it. Don't fucking pull it. Because wherever y'all live, it looked like you renting a room at a hotel. Don't play. So her saying that she doesn't know where I live, you know. Anyway, Sonny, y'all's marriage happened awfully quickly. It really seems like y'all got drunk one night and you managed to drag Moses down to the altar. And it happened so quickly. Baby, you weren't the main chick either. You look like a fool every time you say that. Because you're still admitting he was with multiple women. So what the fuck were you? You a side chick too. So the fact that they are still talking about Destiny in detail, these two, is because Sonny likes the attention her retarded boyfriend / husband / sperm donor gives her when he talks about the woman that he's really obsessed with and she knows it. Then he admits that he didn't wear his ring when he went to meet with her. And he had this meeting on his call sheet. If Destiny wanted to fuck, she could have. Because why would you even be forgetting your wedding ring? That's supposed to be on. And since she got it like that, that shit ain't supposed to turn green in the shower? The kind of wedding bands that men wear? Girl, bye. And if you look at them, they don't even have any chemistry. You can tell, like, she looks like his mother. And Moses is slow. And he is not nobody to be, like, fighting over. Anyway, so we get Trisha and Ken at the end. They are much more likable than Tiffany and Lou. I will say that much. And I like them together. I think Ken is a nice guy so far. I like this for any black woman when a black man is good to them. I really do. Trisha is smart enough to have her friends back, like Stormy, but also smart enough not to take on other people's unnecessary beefs. She was like, she actually likes Tisha or whatever. She was consistent with what she said in front of Tisha and her. And the bottom line is, I don't think Stormy's tripping over it, because it's really Stormy and Marcel. It's not Tisha and Stormy beefing, but we understand because Tisha's married to him. She gotta, like, you know, and that just makes sense. It's family, and that's her husband. They talk about Martell being weird. Ken caught game and was like, he was trying to make it seem like y'all were creeping together at some point. That's how people do when they want to, like, leave it up in the air. And yes, that is a problem. Then they bring up her marriage issue. I didn't realize they hadn't even filed. I mean, I knew that at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't know before then. And it's a big deal for Ken, and I understand that. Because he is doing a lot, and he does care for her, and it does seem like they really, you know, like each other or love each other. She's scared of marriage, and honestly, I understand that. Bad relationships can make you feel like that. Triggers in your upbringing can make you feel like that, and it can be scary. But I'm kind of looking forward to see where they go, and if they become more interesting over time. Nevertheless, that's all I have. I have to get back to work. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.